on IFC's 10th International Food Safety Forum under the theme, Keeping Food Safe and Prevent Losses. Thank you everyone for coming. We are really delighted to see the audience here and our guest speakers being with us on this forum. Indeed, adequate, affordable, safe, and nutritious food is considered the critical component of food security. The impact of unsafe food cost low and middle income countries around 110 billion in lost productivity and medical expenses each year. Compounding food safety challenges, the agribusiness value chain seek also problems related to food loss and waste. The direct economic losses associated with food loss and waste is around $1.25 trillion per year. Finally, it is notable that many of the actions on food safety and food loss and waste reduction can be managed by improved standards and implement food safety systems in place. My name is Natia Mgeladze, and I'm Global Lead for IFC Food Safety and Food Loss Prevention Platform.
This is B.M. Bashir Rahman, Deputy Director, Bangladesh Food Safety Authority. We will both be your guide for the day, keeping us on schedule and ensuring you have all the information you need to understand the impact of safe and nutritious food on consumers as well as on business, and be able to implement action targeted at preventing food losses and waste.
Before we start, let me thank you, Bangladesh Food Safety Authority, co-partner of this IFC Food Safety International Forum. Thank you for the collaboration last 3 years with the Bangladesh Authority. We also want to acknowledge the government of Bangladesh, here represented by the Honorable Minister, Mr. Shadon Chandra Majumdar. We also want to thank Additional Secretary of Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Rabinda Sri Barao, as a special guest, and the Acting Secretary of the Minister of Food, Dr. Salma Momzaz, as the chair.
We are delighted to Mr. Wagner Albuquerque de Almeida, have Global Director of Manufacturing, Agribusiness and Services, as the guest of honor, and Mr. Martin Hortman, IFC Country Manager for Bangladesh, Bhutan, and Nepal, and Simone Morarzi Russell, Director, Scientist from the Multisectoral Action in Food System, Department of Nutrition and Food Safety from WHO, as the keynote speaker.
We also want to acknowledge our donors, Global Agriculture and Food Security Platform, GAFSP, and the Finance for Investment Climate Advisory Services, FIAS, for making this event possible. I also need to mention and thank international organizations participating and speaking on this forum. Additional to us, we have here IFC colleagues, World Bank colleagues, colleagues from the WHO, from FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, UNIDO, USAID, and other organizations, as well as Gates Foundation. We also want to acknowledge the presence and partnership with the different governmental organizations and departments today being with us and speaking on the forum, as well as let me thank the private sector representatives who will present on different sessions today. As well as we will have today the celebrity chef with us, Kishwar Chaudhary, in the end of these sessions.
Last but not the least, our media friends, welcome to all. I would like to request respected Chairman of Bangladesh Food Safety Authority, Mr. MD Abdul Qayyum Sarkar, to come on the stage with our honorable chief guest, special guest, chair, guest of honor, and keynote speaker.
While our speakers are coming, let me also mention World Food Safety Day, which was celebrating on June 7th, and the topic was highlighted at the importance for food safety standards in saving people's life, which is also our role in IFC, and we are supporting different private sector clients to implement the food safety standards, as well as we are also doing different type of events, forums to build the awareness of the stakeholders of the food chain. With this, let us also talk a little bit about the agenda before our guests will start.
As such, we can look forward to an interesting agenda which has already been provided to you. Indeed, before starting the forum session, we have the welcoming remarks from IFC representative, then the presented by the BFSA, and which is followed by the keynote speaker, and inaugural speech by the honorable chief guest and special guest. And later on, we have a one session, food safety strategies, a path to growth. And second session is empowering private sector leadership. We have two parallel sessions after the lunch, sustainability and prevention of food loss and waste. And other one is gender smart solution for food safety. We'll then have an 1 second coffee break, and it is going to the second, third, and fourth parallel session about IT solution, and the gaps special session for food safety and nutrition. We have a special agenda for the government official IFC food system assessment result. We will then end of the closing panel composed of the government of Bangladesh official, and will reflect on the forum takeaway and closing remarks by the IFC. This will be preceded by the address by the celebrating chef Kishwar Chaudhary, who will share how food safety impacts our cuisine.
Today, you can also expect productive networking during our 2 coffee breaks and also lunchtime. And we will finish with the reception, and which will take place at 6 p.m. For more details about this forum, about the other speaker, you could also go to our webpage, which is www.ifc.org/foodsafety. If you are also using social media, please don't forget to mention about this event and also hashtag IFC Food Safety. So we cannot wait to get started.
Now I would like to invite Mr. Martin Holtman, Country Manager, IFC Bangladesh, Bhutan and Nepal, to kindly deliver the welcome remarks. Welcome to Martin.
Assalamu alaikum and Shuv Shukal. I wish you all a very good morning. It's nice to see you here bright and early. I want to greet the Honorable Minister for Food, Sadan Chandra Majumdar, Secretary from the Ministry of Agriculture, Dr. Wida Akhtar, Acting Secretary for the Ministry of Food, Dr. Salma Momtaz, and of course also the Chairman of the Bangladesh Food Safety Authority, Abdul Qayyum Sarkar. There are also many distinguished senior guests here from the government of Bangladesh, private sector partners, friends from the media, and wish you all a very good morning. So welcome to the International Food Safety Forum. I'm not going to repeat what you just heard. It's going to be a very juicy day with a lot of super interesting information. Why do I think this is so important? I just want to give you a couple of personal remarks, and why does it make sense to have this type of conference in Bangladesh, of all places? Does anybody know what the world population was in 1930? Guess. 3 billion? 2 billion. 2 billion people in 1930. 1971, very important year for Bangladesh. Not even 4, 3.7 billion in 1971. Today, 8, right? 8 billion. So I think that already says it all, why food is so important. We have an explosion of population growth around the world. Most of that is a very good story. But of course, more people need more food. And so I think these numbers speak for themselves. In a lifetime, the world's population has pretty much tripled. Foodborne diseases do matter, excuse me, for development because they create public health problems and they present barriers to exports and also to smallholder domestic farmers, both of which are topics that are very important for us here in Bangladesh. And as my colleague Natia just said, there is an amazing amount, actually rather horrible amount of food wastage around the world. I think it is estimated that globally about 1/3 of all food that is produced is wasted, goes right to waste. It never gets to the consumer. That is a waste of resources, and it also creates huge climate problems because a lot of that food just rots. Now, why is it so important to share our experience in Bangladesh, from Bangladesh to the rest of the world? Well, we all know that Bangladesh has had one of the world's most amazing and successful development journeys on just about every single indicator that you can look at, whether it's gender, whether it's life expectancy, whether it's education, whether it's per capita income growth. Bangladesh is really one of the top economies in the world over the last 50 years, and especially over the last 20 years. So we have a lot to share to other countries that other countries are very interested in, and I'm happy to report that our experience on food safety is also something to be proud of. Bangladesh has transformed its food safety legislation and created new export opportunities in new markets in Asia, Europe, and the US. At the same time, we have about 100 million people here who support their livelihoods with agriculture, and that includes millions of smallholder farmers. And while there's still a lot of work to be done in that space, there are some incredibly successful experiences in integrating smallholder farmers into the value chains of the food processing industry. So I'm really looking forward to this forum and to seeing how other countries can benefit from our experience here. What is IFC's role in all of this? For those who don't know, I always wonder whether everybody knows what IFC even stands for. It's the International Finance Corporation. We're part of the World Bank Group, but we're that part that focuses on the private sector. So all our investment activities that we do as IFC are with private sector companies. Our team, led by Natia here, has 15 years of experience in the food safety space. We work with private and public partners around the world to adopt sustainable business models and international food safety standards. The goal is to save and to improve lives, aligning with the theme of the World Food Safety Day on June 7th. In Bangladesh, we offer services around food safety assessments, food fortification, and food loss and waste assessments, staff training, and many more. And needless to say that we are interested in and are currently investing in food processing in this country. Since we started working in Bangladesh in 1985, we have invested $7 billion within the private sector, and we're working right now to ramp that up to $1 billion a year. Let me close by thanking the organizers and especially also the sponsors. GAFSP was already mentioned, FIAS was mentioned, and of course, most and foremost, I want to thank our partner, the Bangladesh Food Safety Authority, for their co-sponsorship of this event, and I'm looking forward to a wonderful day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Holtman, for elaborating on the objective of the forum and the importance of the food safety in Bangladesh. May I request guest of honor, Mr. Wagner Albuquerque de Almeida, IFC Global Director for Manufacturing, Agribusiness and Services, to deliver the opening remarks on behalf of global team of IFC.
Okay, here comes the time, okay? The time that I sweat a lot, okay? I hate to be in front of so many people, and in particular with people which are brighter than I am, okay? So, thank you for being here. I will try to say good morning, yes, but also Shubo Kasha, sorry. Sorry for the language, okay? And also Salam Alaikum, okay? So it's my first time in Bangladesh. And I really want to enjoy the time together. And I want to come back many, many times. Because what I can see is a huge country with huge potential. But today, what we'll be talking about is about food security. So I would like to say, first of all, that I'm really happy to be here, that I see many leaders here, and I need to thank you for the Bangladesh government. Thank you so much for being here to help us to organize this event. Also for the Food Security Authority, to our partners, GAFSP, FIAS, UNIDO, Gates Foundations, the CSOs, the international organizations, and to our clients, and to our colleagues, to our staff, of everybody who helped to organize this event. Without these colleagues, we will not be here. Also, what is food for you? What is security food for you is something that we need to think. In my mind, what are the main things that I do every day that I wake up? I wake up, take a shower, say hi to my family, do my prayers, and I eat. Without eat, there is nothing. Without it, I will not be here together with you guys. It's impossible to be here. So your presence after a good meal is very important. Thank you for that. But what we need is to use this energy to create the engagement so that our actions will speak louder than our words. We need to make sure that if you send an unequivocal statement to the world about the importance of this food security in the place that we are. Let me try to briefly explain what IFC does and how IFC does. We provide solutions to the private sector. This includes a very big suite of products, such as debt, equity, guarantees, risk management tools, blended finance, local currency offering, advisory service, upstreams, our new global food security that we approved in September, and so many other things. The question is how we offer this to the private sector, how we engage with the private sector. One thing is clear, we cannot do this alone. Alone, we are too small. Alone, we don't have the convening power. So we work with the World Bank to support the public sector, to change the policies, to create an environment that the private sector can thrive. IFC today has more than $3 billion in agribusiness. This is one of the most important portfolios that we have. Our investments aims to strengthen the food security and build new economic activities. These investments are based in essentially 3 pillars, simple ones, but 3 pillars. Food security, access, and nutrition. That's one of the pillars. The second is inclusion, development. The third one is sustainability and climate change as business drivers. We know that everything that we do here has an implication to climate change. This is important to keep in mind. So we invest across the supply chain. Simply put, from farmers to the fork. Everything that we eat is part of a food security, and that's where we are doing. This requires from IFC different solutions and working with different teams, different partners, and with different clients. That is not simply right or wrong. There are things that we need to do and we need to learn. And that's what we are trying to do, and to do the best way. Clearly the food security is not only about agribusiness. It's not. Food security is bigger than that. Food security is about standards. How we produce, labor standards, gender, there's environmental issues. It's a big agenda. It's about innovation and more innovation. Without innovations, we cannot improve, we cannot produce so many foods which is required to the society that we live. This is about technical capacity, increasing yields, greater efficiency, using resources in a cost-effective way. Access to finance, to farmers, to distributors, to processors, to buyers, to consumers. Without credit, we are limited. We need to unlock the access to credit. Also, it's about the right inputs at the right time and at the right quality. We cannot use the wrong seeds, the wrong fertilizers at the wrong moment. We will be overspending and not capturing the full capacity of the production. It's a fair access to market, international and internal markets. It's a legal framework that should allow us to have the economic development, to be predictable to the investors, and to get the right funding associated to the production cycles that we have. It's about job creations, and we can continue, but also it's about gender. It's also about the youth which is coming. So the list can go on, but solving the problems we face is difficult, but not impossible. And we will only succeed if we work together to make tangible improvements in the value chain that we focus. Now, what about what we do and how we do? Yes, everything that we do, there are implications, economic implications, healthy implications, which are important to be seen. Food safety is critical for health. We know that. Unsafe and contaminated food kills people. The World Health Organization estimates that every year, about 600 million people, it's not a small number, 1 in 10 worldwide fall ill because of contaminated food. 420,000 people die, about a quarter of that among children. An estimated amount of $100 billion is lost each year in productivity and medical expenses because unsafe food in emerging market has a cost beyond and has a human cost. There is also the cost of the green emission from food losses and any other important elements. So when we talk about food security and preventing food losses, we are talking about the future. We are talking about our children. We are talking about the future of humankind. So how we should be doing to do food safety and reduce food losses? We need to bring together private sector and public sector, working together, working together, working together. So, and what about Bangladesh? Bangladesh is one of the leading international investors. IFC is one of the leading international investors here. Since 2000, we invested $150 million. Well, I think we do much more. We must multiply this amount. I'm especially proud for the recent investment that we have done. Magna Rice is one that comes to my mind. We are also here today to learn from you, to hear from you. IFC needs also to hear. We are not only here to teach you, but we also need to learn from you about the best practice, the way that we can collaborate with the Bangladesh Safe Authority, conducting diagnostics on the food security system and providing capacity building. I look forward, we should be looking forward to close more deals like this, to help build food security and to enhance our food security in the reducing loss. Listen, the agenda is very big. The issues are not small, but it's not impossible. It's particularly if we work together, if we learn from each other. I would like that during the conversation today, that we exchange views, and we can make this not only words, but we can transform this into actions that will be building a more sustainable and resilient food system to all of us. Thank you so much for being here. Sorry for my pronunciation. I am Brazilian. My English is bad, but we are here to enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wagner. We have here with us Mr. Rabindra Shri Borua, Additional Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture. So he joined us now, and I want to ask to come on the stage. Thank you. Now, we are tremendously delighted and honored to have Mr. Shadon Chandra Mojumdar, Honorable Minister, Ministry of Food, with us. I would like to request the chief guest to deliver his speech today.
বাংলাদেশ নিরাপদ খাদ্য কর্তৃপক্ষ এবং আইএফসি কর্তৃক আয়োজিত 10th আইএফসি ইন্টারন্যাশনাল ফুড সেফটি ফোরাম এর উদ্বোধনী অনুষ্ঠান উপস্থিত বিশেষ অতিথি কৃষি মন্ত্রণালয়ের দায়িত্বপ্রাপ্ত সচিব, সভাপতি সালমা মমতাজ, অতিরিক্ত সচিব এবং অ্যাক্টিং সচিব খাদ্য মন্ত্রণালয় মোহাম্মদ আব্দুল কাইম সরকার, চেয়ারম্যান বাংলাদেশ নিরাপদ খাদ্য কর্তৃপক্ষ, কিনোট স্পিকার সিমোনো মরাস, Director, Scientist and Multi-Sectoral Action in Food Systems, AFS, Department of Nutrition and Food Safety, WHO. উপস্থিত বিভিন্ন মন্ত্রণালয় থেকে আগত সম্মানিত কর্মকর্তাবৃন্দ, উপস্থিত স্থানীয় ও আন্তর্জাতিক উন্নয়ন সংস্থাসমূহের কর্মকর্তা বৃন্দ, গবেষক, শিক্ষাবিদ, এনজিও এবং বেসরকারি খাতের প্রতিনিধি বৃন্দ সবাইকে এবং অন্যান্য সম্মানিত অতিথিবৃন্দ সবাইকে, প্রিন্ট ও ইলেকট্রিক মিডিয়ার সাংবাদিকবৃন্দ সবাইকে আমার আন্তরিক শুভেচ্ছা, অভিনন্দন, শুভ সকাল। আমার বক্তব্যের শুরুতেই শ্রদ্ধাভরে স্মরণ করছি সর্বকালের সর্বশ্রেষ্ঠ বাঙালি জাতির পিতা বঙ্গবন্ধুকে, যার জন্ম না হলে আমরা বাংলাদেশ নামক একটি দেশ পেতাম না, বাংলাদেশের নামক ভূখণ্ডের সৃষ্টিও হতো না। আমি শ্রদ্ধাভরে স্মরণ করছি মহান মুক্তিযুদ্ধের 30 লক্ষ শহীদ, সম্মানহারা 2 লক্ষ মা বোন এবং জেলখানে নিহত জাতীয় 4 নেতা সহ 1975 সালে জাতির পিতা বঙ্গবন্ধু সহ যারা শাহাদাত বরণ করেছেন, শহীদ হয়েছেন, তাদের প্রতি বিনম্র শ্রদ্ধা জানাই। জাতির পিতা বঙ্গবন্ধু স্বাধীনতার পরেই একটি সংবিধান উপহার দেন। এই সংবিধানে তিনি মৌলিক বিষয়গুলি যেমন অন্ন, বস্ত্র, বাসস্থান, চিকিৎসা ও শিক্ষার উপর গুরুত্ব দিয়েছিলেন। খাদ্য মানুষের মৌলিক অধিকার সমূহের অন্যতম। গণপ্রজাতন্ত্রী বাংলাদেশের সংবিধানের 15 ক অনুচ্ছেদ অনুযায়ী রাষ্ট্রের মৌলিক দায়িত্ব হচ্ছে সকল নাগরিকের খাদ্যের মৌলিক চাহিদা পূরণের ব্যবস্থা করা। এছাড়া সংবিধানের 18-1 অনুচ্ছেদ জনগণের পুষ্টি স্তর উন্নয়ন ও জনস্বাস্থ্যের উন্নতি সাধনকে রাষ্ট্রের প্রাথমিক দায়িত্ব হিসাবে গণ্য করা হয়েছে। সকল সময়ের সকল নাগরিকের কর্মক্ষম ও সুস্থ জীবনযাপনের প্রয়োজনে খাদ্য পুষ্টি নিরাপত্তার নিশ্চিতকরণে বাংলাদেশ সরকার অঙ্গীকারবদ্ধ। এই ধারাবাহিকতার জীবন ও স্বাস্থ্য সুরক্ষার সমগ্র খাদ্য সুশৃঙ্খল শুরু হতে ভোক্তার দোরগোড়ায় দূষণ এবং ভেজালমুক্ত নিরাপদ খাদ্য প্রাপ্তি নিশ্চিত করতে বাংলাদেশের উন্নয়নের উপকার মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রীর উদ্যোগে এবং তার যুগোপযোগী বিচক্ষণতার এবং দূরদর্শী সিদ্ধান্ত প্রণীত হয় নিরাপদ খাদ্য আইন 2013। এই আইন বাস্তবায়নে 2রা ফেব্রুয়ারি 2023 জীবন ও স্বাস্থ্য সুরক্ষায় সকলের জন্য নিরাপদ খাদ্য রূপকল্পকে সামনে রেখে প্রতিষ্ঠিত হয় বাংলাদেশ নিরাপদ নিরাপদ খাদ্য কর্তৃপক্ষ। আজকের এই আয়োজনে পুষ্টি সমৃদ্ধ নিরাপদ খাদ্য বৈশ্বিক এবং সম্মিলিত অঙ্গীকারের একটি উল্লেখযোগ্য মাইলফলক। খাদ্যের নিরাপদতা একটি সুস্থ সমৃদ্ধ কার্যকর জাতি বিনির্মাণে অন্যতম পূর্বশর্ত। আমরা যে খাদ্য গ্রহণ করি তা দূষণ, ভেজাল এবং রোগ জীবাণু থেকে মুক্ত নিশ্চিত করা শুধুমাত্র আমরা সেই খাদ্য গ্রহণ করি তা দূষণ এবং ভেজাল এবং রোগ জীবাণু থেকে মুক্ততা নিশ্চিত করা শুধুমাত্র জনস্বাস্থ্যের বিষয় নয়। উল্লেখযোগ্য, যেহেতু আজকের এই অনুষ্ঠানটি বিভিন্ন পর্যায়ের অংশীজনের এবং নীতি নির্ধারকের মধ্যে একটি কার্যকর মতবিনিময়ের ক্ষেত্র হয়ে উঠেছে, আমি তাই উদাত্ত আহ্বান জানাই দেশে খাদ্যের নিরাপত্তা নিশ্চিতে আমাদের যেসব চ্যালেঞ্জ রয়েছে সেগুলোর প্রতি যথাযথভাবে আলোকপাত করার জন্য বাংলাদেশের নিরাপদ খাদ্য কর্তৃপক্ষ দেশে খাদ্য নিরাপত্তা নিশ্চিতে প্রধান সমন্বয়কের ভূমিকায় কাজ করে যাচ্ছে। তবে এই কাজ শুধু একটি মাত্র কর্তৃপক্ষ কিংবা মন্ত্রণালয় দিয়ে করা সম্ভব নয়। এটি অংশীদারিত্বমূলক কার্যক্রম, যেখানে কার্যকর নিরাপদ খাদ্য ব্যবস্থাপনা পদ্ধতি সৃষ্টিতে সকলকে একটি প্ল্যাটফর্মে কাজ করতে হবে এবং কাজগুলো যথাযথ এবং যৌক্তিক সমন্বয় ব্যবস্থা করতে হবে। না হলে আগত ভবিষ্যৎ, আমাদের সুস্থ সবল ভবিষ্যৎ প্রজন্ম যে স্বপ্ন দেখছি, যাদের হাতে ধরে মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রী স্মার্ট বাংলাদেশ গড়ে উঠবে তা বাস্তবায়ন করা খুবই কঠিন। এই বহুমুখী সমস্যাগুলি মোকাবেলা করার জন্য আমাদের অবশ্যই একটি বিস্তৃত ও কার্যকর পদ্ধতি অবলম্বন করতে হবে, যা সমগ্র খাদ্যগুলোকে অন্তর্ভুক্তি করবে। তবে সেজন্য যথাযথভাবে গবেষণা ও উন্নয়ন প্রয়োজন। সক্ষমতা বৃদ্ধি এবং বিজ্ঞান ভিত্তিক গবেষণার ক্ষেত্রে যথাযথ বিনিয়োগ, এক্ষেত্রে ডিজিটাল ও স্মার্ট বিভিন্ন উদ্ভাবনকে কাজে লাগানোর বিষয়টি আমরা ভেবে দেখতে পারি, যার মাধ্যমে খাদ্য অপচয় রোধ, খাদ্য শৃঙ্খল দূষণ প্রবেশ রোধ এবং একই সাথে আমাদের ভোক্তাদের নিরাপদ খাদ্য প্রাপ্তিতে ক্ষমতায়ন করতে সক্ষম হবে বলে আমি মনে করি। আমি আশাবাদী এই ফোরামে অনুষ্ঠিত আলোচনা এবং এজেন্ডা ভিত্তিক সেমিনারের দেশের নিরাপদ খাদ্য নিশ্চিতে সহযোগিতামূলক অংশীদারিত্বের পথ প্রশস্ত করবে বলে আমি দৃঢ়ভাবে বিশ্বাস করি। আমরা সকলে মিলে সর্বোত্তম অনুশীলনগুলি বাস্তবায়ন করতে যদি পারি এবং ক্রমাগত বিজ্ঞানভিত্তিক খাদ্য নিরাপত্তার সংস্কৃতি গড়ে তুলতে পারি, আমাদের সকলের সর্বাত্মক প্রয়াসে এমন একটি ভবিষ্যৎ জাতি গঠনে করতে পারি, সেখানে সকলের জন্য পুষ্টি সমৃদ্ধ নিরাপদ খাদ্যের নিশ্চয়তা থাকবে এবং খাদ্যের অপচয় অনেকাংশে হ্রাস পাবে বলে আমার বিশ্বাস। মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রীর নেতৃত্বে বাংলাদেশে অদূর ভবিষ্যতে ক্ষুধা এবং দারিদ্র্যমুক্ত আধুনিক প্রযুক্তি নির্ভর উন্নত দেশের সমপর্যায়ে পৌঁছাবে। আমি আপনাদের আহ্বান জানাচ্ছি আমাদের এই মহৎ লক্ষ্য পূরণের আন্তরিকভাবে এগিয়ে আসার জন্য, যাতে করে আমরা উন্নত রাষ্ট্রে পরিণত হওয়ার লক্ষ্যে মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রী জননেত্রী শেখ হাসিনা কর্তৃক গৃহীত ভিশন 2041 ও এসডিজির লক্ষ্যমাত্রা অর্জন করতে পারি। নিরাপদ খাদ্য নিশ্চিতকরণ এবং এর উন্নয়নের ধারা অব্যাহত রাখার মাধ্যমে আমরা বাংলাদেশকে একটি স্মার্ট বাংলাদেশ হিসাবে দেখতে চাই। I would like to thank IFC to come forward for the arranging such a nice program in collaboration with Bangladesh Food Safety Authority. I hope to have IFC by our side in the journey of food safety in Bangladesh. একই সাথে আমি আজকের এই অনুষ্ঠানের শুভ উদ্বোধন ঘোষণা করছি। I declared the FCFCS opening of the today's event. সবশেষে আমি উপস্থিত সকল সম্মানিত অতিথিবৃন্দকে এবং আন্তরিক শুভেচ্ছা জানাই, কৃতজ্ঞতা জানাই, ধন্যবাদ জানিয়ে আমার বক্তব্য শেষ করছি। সবাইকে আবারও ধন্যবাদ। থ্যাঙ্কস টু অল। জয় বাংলা, জয় বঙ্গবন্ধু, বাংলাদেশ চিরজীবী হোক। ধন্যবাদ সবাইকে।
Thank you very much, Mr. Honorable Minister. So we know that you need to leave earlier. Let me ask Ms. Mafroja, Executive Magister of BFSA, to provide memorable gift and flower to our Honorable Minister. And before he left, let me also ask the panelists of this session to take one memorable photo. I guess we're now at the time to start very interesting presentation from the chairman of the Bangladesh Food Safety Authority, Mr. Abdul Sarkar. Dear chairman, please come on the stage. Thank you.
Honorable Chair of the session, Secretary in charge, Minister of Food, Dr. Salva Momtaz, Honorable special guest of this session, Mr. Robindra Singh Borua, Secretary in charge, Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Martin Hotman, Country Manager, IFC Bangladesh, Bhutan, Nepal, the special guest, and keynote speaker, Simon Morris, Director, Scientist of WHO, the representative from different print and electronic media, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. I got the opportunity to give you a little idea about the activities of Food Safety Authority, and it is my pleasure to have this chance to give you this idea. You know, the dream of the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, is to build a poverty and hunger-free golden Sonar Bangla. And under the visionary and charismatic leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, Bangladesh public health and nutrition status has been changed remarkably. Bangladesh Food Safety Authority started journey from 2015, but under the leadership of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, in 2013 we enacted the law Bangladesh Food Safety Act 2013, and under this act we have started our journey in 2015 from 2nd February 2015. The main vision of Bangladesh Food Safety Authority is to ensure safe food for all, to protect life and health. And for this, our mission to protect consumers' health and life by formulating appropriate science-based regulations, monitoring the safety of food supply chain, coordinating the activities of agencies related to food control and management, food business operator and civil societies to ensure the effective enforcement of the Food Safety Act and regulations. We have formulated a strategic paper for our development from 2000, which the period is 2022 to 2026. It is under we are going to after completion of the strategic plan, the main issue we have in this is to establish BFSI as a single food safety authority of Bangladesh responsible for the overall food safety ecosystem, to establish science-based standards in compliance with the Food Safety Act 2013 while respecting Bangladesh international obligations, to strengthen the regulatory compliance mechanism by establishing an independent, effective and transparent structure in Bangladesh, to enhance the role of BFSI for food safety and nutrition and trade facilitation at the global level, to enhance effectiveness in science, technical work in food safety areas on a long-term basis, to build capacity of all stakeholders in relation to food safety and nutrition, to build consumer awareness to increase the demand for safe and nutritious food. In short, I am giving you some idea about our activities and achievements. First of all is formulation of rules and regulations. We are awarding grading sticker to the food producer organization, food analysis in mobile laboratory. We have a mobile laboratory that is work in Dhaka city area. We also going to start this function in every divisional area. With this mobile laboratory, we can test food on the spot in every area. Using health certificate to the food exporter. We are giving health certificate for our exporting food items for every trader. Regulatory food sampling. Inspection and monitoring is our main task, and with this task we are regularly collecting sample from different areas of the country and testing them and taking decisions on that. Enforcement through mobile code. It is our last function. If nobody avoid law, then we impose enforcement by mobile code. Monitoring in food industry and inspection, it is our regular function in whole of the area country. We are doing this. We also conducted different workshops, seminars to get ideas, to share ideas to ensure food safety. We also organize with help of Venture 37, the first time in Bangladesh, a lab expo in to have a clear idea about the capacity of our food testing laboratories in testing food items. We also produce some TBC to build awareness of the people and also the food producer. We also provide training of our food safety officers, also the food business operators to ensure food safety. Also, mass awareness, we are creating mass awareness by help of public figure. You see in this picture, we have a public figure, Mr. Ferdos, in this picture. And also, we produce some drama series to aware people about the safety of food. We have also signed some MOU with different organizations, would include the New Zealand Primary Food and Industries and also national and international different organizations and also governmental organizations to ensure safety of food. And also joint collaboration to have a better idea about food safety and ensure safe food for our country. The Ministry of Primary Industries, New Zealand, JICA, they also provide us a TAPP project. Land to Lakes Venture 37, a US-based organization. SNB, Netherlands Development Organization, International Finance Corporation, IFC, we are jointly organizing today's program. Achievements towards ensuring food safety. We have harmonized the food safety regulations with Codex and other international standards. For that, 20 horizontal standard committee, 13 vertical standard committee work for this purpose, and we have 11,200 standards have been harmonized and 160 draft regulations have been formulated. BFSI has completed these drafts within 4 months. The Secretary of Codex Alimentarius Commission, Mr. Tom Hyland, gave his wild wish for these achievements. The Codex officially recognized these achievements of Bangladesh by publishing the news on their website. Soon, those will be published in National Gazette notification and notified to WTO. This is a picture of the draft. We have announced that opened the draft regulations of the harmonized standards. This is the picture of this session. And we have, I have told you earlier that we have organized a Food and Chemical Lab Expo in 2022. Some picture of this expo. We have a call center number 16155 from 8 to 12 a.m. It is open for all. It is toll free. Anybody can seek any suggestion, or anybody can make any complaint about unsafe food from anywhere of the country. We have also promoted family food safety practices awareness, and for that we have formulated a family guideline on safe food. And also we awarded research grant to different organizations in this area: pesticide residue, antibiotic residue, heavy metal, food additives, microbiological hazards, fruits and vegetable processing. Honorable Prime Minister opened the book, the Nirapod Khadyo Bishayak Paribarik Nirdeshika, or the food guide book for family. We have other achievements too. Scientific information as food safety in the textbook to provide future generation. In primary level, we have already included it, and from coming year, next year, we will include in the secondary level and madrasa and technical education level. But we have some challenges to ensure food safety. Bangladesh is a country of highly densely populated countries in the world with more than 160 million population. About 2.5 million food business operators we have in Bangladesh, and many of them are not registered. 20 departments under 12 ministries are involved in food safety management system in the country. Exist 120 law, acts, rules, regulations related to food safety. Complex food control system in the country, different attitudes of the concerned agencies, skill development of related manpower to protect the food safety, implementation of prevention and remedial safe food management through interagency coordination to eliminate food adulteration and contamination, implementation and introduction of good practices to develop food safety management system. It is all about a short view of our activities and our views of Bangladesh Food Safety Authority. The today's theme is keeping food safe and nutritious, preventing losses. I think our Bangladesh Food Safety Authority also have a view to ensure safe food and nutritious food to all the people of Bangladesh. I think it is very much related with our main focus, with our main target. And I think from this today's seminar and workshop and parallel session, we will get much more idea about to ensure safe food and nutritious food, and also have some ideas to preventing losses in foods. Thank you all. I think Bangladesh Food Safety Authority can gain from this session, and I am very much hopeful of that. Thank you all. Assalamu alaikum.
Now we have time to listen our keynote speaker. Let me introduce Ms. Simone Morales Sazel, Science from the Multisectorial Action in Food Systems, Department of Nutrition and Food Safety, World Health Organization.
I would like to thank you on behalf of WHO to the Bangladesh national authorities for having us here. I would like to thank you all the international organizations present here, and especially to IFC for the invitation and for this cooperation we are starting to have among the two organizations on behalf of food safety. I would talk about the recent launched, we can say recent was a year ago, WHO Global Strategy for Food Safety, and how we are moving forward. To those who don't know, just to tell you a little bit about the history of this strategy. In 2019, there were two important international food safety meetings organized by WHO, FAO, African Union, and the World Trade Organization. The first session was in Ethiopia, in Addis Ababa, in February 2019, and in April 2019, another session happened in Geneva. These two sessions discussed the future of food safety, the future of the food, the future of food safety. From the discussions of these two meetings, we received so many feedback and so many outputs and so many information that required WHO to update the global strategy. We already had the strategy for food safety. It was about to expire. It was time to renew it, and we had all the feedback from these two meetings. We discussed about new technologies, effects of climate change. So all this information were used for the update of the strategy. In 2020, during the World Health Assembly, there was a resolution proposed to WHO from member states that was endorsed during that assembly, that requiring WHO to, base it on the results of these two meetings, to update our strategy for food safety. Based on this resolution, we open a call for experts to select a group that would help us to develop this new document. When we open this call, and we can think that food safety is a small word, it's not. We received more than 600 applications of food safety experts from all over the world. It was a hard task to select the small group among all those, and we end up with 24 experts on different areas for food safety from all the regions, and we started working on this document. This group is called TAG, it's Technical Advisory Group. During the year of 2021, we developed the draft document and we opened it for consultations. We received the feedback on this document from governments, from academia, from consumers associations, from NGOs, and from other international organizations. The final document, the final draft, was sent to the executive board, and the draft was approved to be sent to the World Health Assembly in 2022, when the document was finally adopted by member states. The document has a timeline of implementation from 2022 to 2030. So what we do now, we have now the document, and what are the next steps we will take until 2030 to implement the strategy. The strategy has a vision to ensure that all people everywhere consume safe and healthy food. The focus is on strengthening multi-sectoral collaboration and innovative approach for food safety. And the implementation is being done. It's not who will work, but we are already working with member states and partners to modify, redesign, or strengthen their national food safety systems in 5 strategic areas, 5 strategic priority areas. I will not go into details into each strategic priority, but I wanted to let you know these are the 5 strategic priorities. The first one is based on regulations, is to strengthen national food control systems, and it calls for national regulations, frameworks, standards to formalize and to be the base and the foundation, and will give the sustainability of the other actions that will be implemented in the next strategic priorities. The second strategic priority is the capacity to identify new challenges facing the national food safety control systems, either because of emerging pathogens, climate change, or foodborne outbreaks, how to detect and respond to those issues. The third strategic priority is based on increasing food safety data. We need more data, we need more information. We have estimations about foodborne diseases happening everywhere. It was mentioned at the beginning by Dr. Wagner about the number of 600 million people every year, but this is based on an estimation. We need better data. Maybe this number is higher. Maybe we are underreporting because we don't have a good capacity for foodborne disease surveillance. We are a little bit better on food monitoring, but in terms of foodborne disease surveillance, we need more laboratory data capacity. We need more outbreak investigation, epidemiological investigation to really have more information about what's going on in terms of foodborne diseases, how the health of the people is being affected by unsafe food. And this information is essential for risk management decisions. Which decisions, what are the priorities that we need to take into consideration based on the data collected? The fourth strategic priority is based on strengthening stakeholder engagement and risk communication. This is about engaging all sectors. During the World Food Safety Day, we always say this is everyone's business. This is about this strategic priority. It's engaging consumers. We all are consumers, engaging consumers association, consumers in general, civil society, academia, private sector, government, everyone working together for food safety. The private sector is a very important stakeholder in this aspect because we are here discussing about regulations, we are here about discussing how to improve food safety systems, but at the production, the moment of the production is the private sector who will apply, who will need to follow those regulations. So they need to be involved in this. And the last strategic priority is about promoting domestic and international trade of safe food. How to increase this and the impact of this in the development of the countries for better opportunities for trade, the food at international and local level, and making sure this food is safe. This is done through international cooperation, and it has 4 principles that's evidence-driven, people-centered, forward-looking, and cost-effective. For the first time, we are proposing indicators for food safety. We always had global strategies for food safety, but we never proposed indicators. Why? Because we don't have good data on food safety, as I mentioned. For this time, we wanted to be a little bit ambitious, and we wanted to challenge all the member states to think about indicators. We needed to measure the food safety system. We don't have one indicator for food safety systems, but we have indicators that are official, that we have the data collected from the member states that we wanted to propose. And they were adopted and they were accepted by member states. The 2 first indicators I would like to mention are the surveillance collaboration mechanisms for food safety events and the surveillance of foodborne diseases and contaminations. Both of these indicators come from the international health regulations. The multi-sectoral collaboration mechanisms for food safety events measures the capacity of countries to detect and respond to emergencies on food safety. It comes from the SPAR, the self-assessment of IHR, the international health regulations. The second indicator is on surveillance of foodborne diseases and communication, and it comes from the joint external evaluation of the international health regulations. All these data are available online, so we are using those to measure the progress of the implementation. They don't measure the complete food safety system, but can help us to measure, to have an idea how the system is going on, because to have surveillance, I needed to have laboratory capacity for food and for disease, and I needed to have alert systems, I needed to have health systems notifying diseases, I needed to have epidemiological teams doing investigations, so I have a good part of the control system here. And we are proposing an impact indicator that is an estimation of foodborne diarrheal disease incidence estimated per 100,000 population. This number is not a real number, it's not an absolute number. It's based on statistical estimations, based on the information available, and can give us an information of the impact of the strategy. So for 2030, we proposed to reduce by 40% the foodborne diarrheal disease incidence. We wanted to increase the multi-sectoral collaboration for mechanisms for food safety events, and we wanted to increase capacity for surveillance of foodborne diseases estimation and contamination. All this will be possible addressing the 5 strategic priorities I mentioned. So this is what I mentioned. The expect is to reduce 40% the estimation of global average of foodborne diarrheal disease per 100,000 inhabitants. How to do that? We would like the pathway looks like this, with a linear route, with steps, strategic priority 1, then I'm going to second one, but the reality is a little bit different. This is the most probable scenario. It's more everything happening at the same time. So we can't finish strategic priority 1, then go to second one. We will be working with all the 5 strategic priorities at the same time, and we needed to know how to move through this very complicated route. How we do that? Our proposal is to start by an assessment tool. We needed to know where we are in this map to know where to go. We needed to understand what are the capacities installed, what is the capacity of the national food control systems. For that, one of the proposals we have is activity that I'm very happy to mention, that we are working with IFC, developing an assessment tool. We wanted to have a simplified assessment tool, self-assessment, that the country can go there, check the boxes, and have a clear an idea where you are, where they are, and where to go. So this is the work we are doing with IFC, and I'm very happy to mention this. We also have other tools, more complex tools. For example, we also have the FAO-WHO Food Control Systems Assessment Tool that can also be used for countries to understand where you are and what needs to be done. It's more complex, it goes into a deeper analysis, but it also is useful. We can also use the International Health Regulations assessments, as I mentioned, the JE and the SPAR. The WOA, it's not OIE anymore, it's WOA PVS tool for veterinary services. And now I added the IFC and WHO assessment tool that we wanted to also add to this as checking the situation, doing the situation analysis to know where you are in terms of implementation. Then going to building national strategy and action plans. We are calling also roadmaps. In the resolution that adopted the strategy calls member states to build their roadmaps based on this assessment, what's the roadmap, and to start based on the gaps, on the weakness, or the areas for improvement identified by the assessment to build a strategy, okay, what we need to do now based on what we found. And then to do the implementation and monitor the implementation and assess the implementation if the activities planned are happening and if the impact that was expected is being reached. Doing that, implementing the strategy, we identified 3 SDGs that will be most directly impacted. That will be number 2, zero hunger, number 3, good health and well-being, and number 8, decent work and economic growth. All these 3 SDGs will be directly impacted by the implementation, by strengthening food control systems. We also can mention SDG 12, 17, and 1. But if we do a deeper analysis on the all SDGs, we probably will find much more SDGs that will be impacted by strengthening food control systems. And this is done through international cooperation. Also to mention, we are working with FAO in joint framework. FAO also approved strategic priorities for food safety last year, and we are working on the areas of synergy and how we will work together to avoid the duplication and to strengthen our efforts in country cooperation in the countries. I'll stop here. I also would like to thank you everyone for the attention and to mention the document of the strategy is available on WHO website to download. We have the final document and the executive summary that is already published and available for download. Thank you very much.
Now we want to have a very important announcement to make. Let me give you a little background about this announcement. Last year, WHO invited IFC Food Safety team to present on its event where the WHO Food Safety Strategy 2020-2030 were presented. And our policy lead, Katerina Onu, participated on that event and presented IFC developed food safety scan guide, which is an assessment tool to assess the public dimensions on food safety framework. So after that presentation, WHO and IFC decided to work to develop the joint tool, which will help WHO to assess the strategy on food safety, how that is implemented by 197 countries, and also find the directions how to best implement the strategy in that countries. Now let me ask Wagner to come to make this announcement.
Well, good things happen in the right places, yes? So, on June 7, IFC and WGAO signed the first-time agreement to cooperation, yes, a cooperation agreement in food security. And what is this about? Yes, I think that's something that we need to talk a bit, okay? So, first of all, this is just the beginning of a long journey that we need to go together. It's also a milestone for IFC, as the cooperation agreement speaks about high recognition of policy products developed by IFC and the tool safety area. It's about IFC, the IFC Scan Guide. We are very proud of the IFC Scan Guide, which will be used by WHO and implemented in its new strategy for food safety in 197 countries. 197 countries will benefit from this tool. What is really remarkable, yes, is that with the WTO here in Dhaka, Bangladesh will be the very country where the Scan Guide will be pilot. It's here that is going to be pilot. It's from here that we will continue to learn. It's from here that we will move to 197 countries outside. So this is not only about IFC, WJO, but about everybody else here. And we need to learn from this too. So the ambition is not small. We wanted to analyze the food systems. We wanted to analyze the food fortifications. We wanted to analyze the food losses and weight, animal welfare, the use of antibiotics, and much more. We appreciated the support. We believe that the results of this pilot will be very useful to everybody and will be a lasting effect. And is going to enhance what we want, food security, the food systems. So we thank you for the opportunity. We are looking forward to the use of the pilot, and thank you for everybody who helped us to develop this tool. And now we need to go to the pilot. Thank you so much.
I would like to request Wagner, Simone, Natia, and Katia with all our guests. So take a memorable photo and signing agreement. Journey start from the Bangladesh. And we also requested our other guests to take the memory for the all guests. Thank you. Thank you. At this moment, I would like to humbly request to the special guest of this session, Mr. Ravindra Siri Burua, Additional Secretary, Minister of Agriculture, to provide his valuable space.
No, thank you. Sorry. Honorable Chair, Secretary, Ministry of Food, CHAIRS, the respected Chief Guest who left a few minutes back, distinguished guests and delegates from different development partners, fellow participants from different ministries and stakeholder agencies, academia, researchers, entrepreneurs, private investors, and media officials. Still very good morning, and I would like to convey my greetings on behalf of Ministry of Agriculture. In fact, today I feel very proud and honored to be here in such a prestigious platform or event, IFC 10th International Food Safety Forum. Before starting my topic, I would like to convey my respect and regards to the father of the nation. Basically, He called for the movement which we refer as Green Revolution. There is nothing but the combination of researchers, academia, extension workers, all these things. And we put more emphasis on production. As you know, Bangladesh is a very small country in the globe. It stands so for 94th position in terms of area. But in terms of population, it's huge. So really, this is a challenge to feed 180 million people, producing crops and fruits from 1.7 million square kilometer land. It's really a challenge. So we put emphasis on production. We put emphasis on feeding the people. Now, this is the time to check, to monitor the quality of food, safety of food. Initially, we put emphasis on food security. Now we are looking forward for ensuring safe food, for ensuring the loss of food, all these things. And you know, Bangladesh has made a very significant progress in agriculture. Yesterday, we got a report in the famous Daily newspaper, Pratham Alu. Bangladesh is one of the 10th countries producing 22 crops and fruits. This is really a good achievement. Bangladesh is now self-sufficient in cereal crops. In rice production, Bangladesh stands third. In terms of vegetable production, Bangladesh stands seventh. In potato, in other fruits like guava, mangoes, all these things, Bangladesh stands almost fifth or sixth or seventh like this. So this is a good achievement for Bangladesh agriculture. And as I said, very beginning of my speech, the present government tries to make a tie between the academia, between the researchers, between the extension workers and the business entrepreneurs. This is not the single effort, this is the combined one, this is the chemistry. So, in this successful journey of Bangladesh agriculture, I, on behalf of Ministry of Agriculture, we deeply acknowledge the continuous support from the development partners like IFC, World Bank, FAO, WFP, Asian Development Bank, and other development partners. We deeply acknowledge the support of all those agencies and partners. Now, Ministry of Agriculture is taking some steps to create a good momentum in production as well as food safety. As I said, land scarcity is a big problem in our country. Each year, almost 1% land we are losing from our production side. For the industry purpose, for the communication purpose, for other infrastructure building, all these things, we are taking 1% land each year. But a reverse scenario we get found in the population growth. Population is increasing day by day, but agricultural land is degrading each year. So this is a big challenge for Bangladesh. And climate effect is another one big challenge. We are losing food every year. due to the flash flood, or heavy rainfall, or short rainfall, all these things. Quality of soil is another one factor. We are not giving any rest to our soil. We are producing 2 crops, 3 crops, and even in some cases 3 crops in the same field. Is our soil getting any rest? No. So we are now looking forward to take care of our soil. This is also a challenge. We don't have enough land, but population is increasing. How to feed 180 million people or 200 million people? This is really a challenge. So again and again, I repeatedly mentioned that this is the challenge to feed 180 million people from the production of such a small country like Bangladesh. So Bangladesh is the innocent victim of climate change effects. This year, you see, temperature went up to 41 degrees Celsius or 42 like that, and felt like 47 in Chuadanga or Rajshahi, all in these areas. And agriculture is the primary sector to be affected by the climatic change. And production is hampering. So we are not sitting idle. Our research institutions and the nurse institutions, they have developed some varieties which are heat tolerant, which are saline tolerant, and water stagnancy tolerant. This is another situation we are facing in the southern belt of Bangladesh, especially Bagerhat, Khulna, Barisal, all those regions, salinity issues. Crop production is declining over there. So we are emphasizing to develop new varieties to face the new challenges like drought, over rainfall, or the short rainfall, or the salinity. And you'll be happy to know that Bangladesh Rice Research Institute recently developed an excellent variety, Brie Rice 104, 102, and Bangabandhu Rice 100. Brie 89, Brie 92, creating excellent yield. And another one variety, Bina 25, Bangladesh Institute of Nuclear Agriculture. They developed another one, fine rice quality, that is Bina 25, and yield is excellent. So we are moving forward to face all those challenges. And you'll be happy to know that Bangladesh agriculture absorbs almost 30% women in the agriculture sector, in the village level, in the entrepreneurship level, and business level also. So we are taking initiatives to absorb the women, to lead the women in agriculture sector. And it's very surprising and happy to know in the field level of agriculture officers, mostly 30 to 40% agriculture officers are women. They are leading and they are very popular. So this is another one achievement that we are empowering women in agriculture sector. We must acknowledge the efforts taken by private and public partnership, but still we are lagging behind in many cases. Recently, we invited many of the entrepreneurs, investors, to bring the ideas how we can build private public partnerships in the agriculture sector. We're inviting investments in the agriculture sector. And we have some challenges. That is awareness. from farmers level, producers level, in transportation, in business point or selling point, we are losing our standard. Contamination is another one factor. Farmers do believe the more use of chemical fertilizer, the more production. So we are taking some awareness programs to motivate the farmers how to use the green manure or how to reduce the chemical fertilizer use, all these things. And we are still lagging behind in quality control measures. We have very limited capacity of testing and monitoring of food quality. But we have taken a project to establish one accredited lab in Purvachal area. We already got land. Hopefully next, within 1 year, we'll be going to establish that international standard accredited lab. And pesticide residue is another problem in food safety. We don't have enough infrastructure or storage systems to preserve the foods. We have also the problem of processing. You see, this is the season of mango, lychee, and jackfruit. We don't have enough processing industries here to preserve for the future generation. Ministry of Agriculture, in collaboration with the donor agencies, developing partners, and other government agencies, we have taken some projects. And I would like to give special thanks to World Bank to come forward with a big proposal of partners. The program on agricultural and rural transformation for nutrition, entrepreneurship, and resilience in Bangladesh. This is such a project of 75,000 million US dollar project. The project is approved recently. We are now moving to the implementation phase. We are going to establish accredited lab very soon. We are establishing one vapor heat treatment plant for export quality products through the BADC, and this will come to the light by next year. We have taken a project by Bangladesh Institute of Nuclear Agriculture, BINA, for gamma irradiation to increase the shelf life of the products. You know, many of the crops in Bangladesh, we lose 25 to 30% due to this. And we have taken another one project, farm mechanization project. We are using different equipments, machineries in agriculture. And now farmers are not afraid of some climatic issues like drought or flash flood. Farmers can reap their crops within a very short time through the combine harvester or reaper or like these things. We have taken some climate smart technologies and techniques in our 6 hotspots of Delta Plan, and we are looking forward to implement the efficient irrigation system also, because we have insufficient surface water. This is our another one concern. So finally, through my space, I would like to invite the private entrepreneurs, the private investors, and the development partners to come forward for the development of Bangladesh agriculture. We invite the investment here because this is a very rich area. It's a very potential area, Bangladesh agriculture. And looking forward to move together, putting our hands together for the development of the people of Bangladesh, for the development of agriculture. Thanks to IFC, FIAS, GFFC, and Food Security Authority, and Ministry of Food also. Thank you again. Joy Bangla. Long live Bangladesh.
Thank you very much, Mr. Barwan. Thanks a lot. Now we have last presentation. Let me invite here the chair of this session, and I would like to invite Dr. Salma Monzad, Acting Secretary, Ministry of Food, to her valuable speech.
In the inaugural session of the 10th IFC Food Safety Forum present here, special guest Mr. Robindra Sri Borua, Acting Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, Mr. MD Abdul Kayum Sarkar, Bangladesh Food Safety Authority Chairman, keynote speaker Simoni Mores Rasji, Director Scientist of Multi-Sectoral Action in Food System, Department of Nutrition and Food Safety, World Health Organization. Distinguished guests from government and non-government organization, researchers, academicians, stakeholders, and media representative, good morning and assalamu alaikum. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would like to thank to the agencies for giving me the opportunity to attend this inaugural session and giving me the position of chair of this program, and also giving scope to address the gathering where there are the slogan of keeping STEAM gathering, food safe and nutritious, keeping food safe and nutritious and preventing losses. Food safety and nutrition are fundamental aspects of human well-being. It is not only essential for physical and health, but also overall development and prosperity of human being. However, in today's rapidly evolving global food system, we face numerous challenges that threaten our safety and nutritional value of food. The prevalence of food-borne illness and the emergence of new contaminants and persistent issue of food losses and wastage, demanding our immediate attention and actions to minimize this. We must address the critical issue of food safety every year, because millions of people suffer from foodborne disease, and this creates some suffering for human being, also economic losses for the countries. It is imperative to strengthen our food system, safety system, from farm to fork. These include implementing stringent hygiene practices, adopting science-based risk assessment method, enhancing surveillance and monitoring system, and transparency and collaboration all the stakeholders. By following these rules, we can prevent foodborne disease and ensure consumer confidence about food safety and food they consume. For this, our Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has enacted Food Safety Act 2013 and Food Safety Authority. These authority is working continuously after formation and to control over the complex and multi-sectoral food safety chain with a law to creating a sustainable food safety management system. Furthermore, we reorganize the link between food safety and nutrition, because it is very close and interrelated issue. food not only to need to be safe but also provide essential nutrition to the body. Multi-nutrition in all these stakeholders is a global challenge. Malnutrition is a global challenge and affecting individual and consumers across the world. To address this, we must focus on promoting access to safe, nutritious, and diversified food options. This is required awareness raising and balanced diet. Fortification, supporting local products, and fostering sustainable agriculture practices. By promoting nutrition and food safety, we can create a healthier population and fostering our sustainable development goals. In addition to that, food safety and nutrition, we cannot ignore the problem of food losses and waste. Every year, a significant portion of food is lost and wasted and decrease our economic growth and development. These wastage and losses not only decrease valuable resources but also produce food insecurity. It is our collective responsibility to implementation and innovative strategy that reduce post-harvest losses, improve supply chain efficiency, and promote responsible consumption pattern. By numerous food losses and wastage, we can ensure that the food we taking reaches our level to nutritious level to all the people with minimizing environmental disadvantages. Ladies and gentlemen, by this 10th IFC Food Safety Forum announced by IFC and BFSA is an opportunity to us to create an environment to work together and exchange our knowledge and produce a plan of action to solution these complex challenges facing our food system. I encourage all the participants to engage actively in this discussion and share best practices and make partnership to create a safe and nutritious and sustainable food system. Together we can make a difference. Let us play to keep our food safe and nutrition and minimize our food loss. We build a world where every individual has access to safe food and nutritious food. Again, I especially thanks to all the guests and all the our colleagues to join here and make this program meaningful. With this, I like to conclude this inaugural session and hope that some of the recommendation will be come out with this discussion. And finishing the session and plan of action will be make food safety and minimize food losses and make the program fruitful. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, Ms. Momtaz. And let me thank to all speakers today. We have some memorable gifts for everyone. So please.
Imran Hussain Mullah for our keynote speaker. Farid Mullah for our IFC country manager. Shipon for Additional Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture.
thank you
সবাইকে
very
একটু
much.
বিনীত অনুরোধ
Please,
করছি
everyone
আপনারা
to turn
ঘুরে পিছনের দিকে যাবেন, ওখান থেকে
backstage.
একটা ছবি আমরা নিব আমাদের মেমোরি রাখার জন্য।